Would I just like fall to the ground?
No, you're not that weak.
Can he be that weak though?
Fine,
Just
make me a
splats on the
strength
ground.
save. DC 10.
All right.
If he rolls a 10,
minus 3. Wait,
Come
you
on.
roll a 15 or higher. Strength save. Yes, it's proficiency bonus to bounce it out.
Ow, my neck.
Oh, that is beautiful.
Okay, so yeah, the about 8-year-old child, she yanks your tail, and then you fall to the ground on your ass. And then she looks at her hand, her arm, and then you're not 100% certain as to what her internal monologue is, but you've seen this expression in children before. You think you may have created a superhero. Yeah.
I have the power to defeat a devil.
Yeah, like at least internally, she's like, and then she runs away and begins like shouting with her friend. To those of you that understand Nevra, she shouts to her friend, "The serpent has granted me strength."
I'm just gonna bare my teeth and hiss.
Yeah, they just sort of chuckle. They do like a fake expression. You're like one would do like a I don't know, like a really shitty horror movie at you, but then they still laugh and run away. Genevieve helps you to your feet.
Is Dusk looking at the rest of us while this happens?
I'm assuming Dusk is hissing at the children.
Yes, I'm hissing at the children.
Genevieve like offers a hand up.
Okay, I'll take her hand.
If you want, we can take one of the children with us on the adventure.
Yeah. Let's take him and feed him to whatever's in the...
I don't know. I think you've just created a monster.
Or you made someone very egotistical.
Either or.
Will be a very quick lesson of humility when they get knocked on their ass. Now, come on.
I can attest to...
Just hers.
I can attest to that.
You can go lift the child up when you get your strength back. Come on.
Yep.
Kind of look on with like a mixture of disdain and disgust at this whole situation.
I think Dusk might be in a similar strait, so maybe internally more than you, but nonetheless, that is the 3 incidents. Because it doesn't take too long to get through town. It's like not a huge town. It's not a city. Lake City. You guys eventually get back to like the border bridges, I'll call them, because they're so disjointed and like they're not a straight line. That's the whole purpose of them. They're not built like a straight line, like Town in the Hobbit. I'm just saying, really easy for someone to charge down if it's just a straight line. Anyways, you guys eventually get back to the buoy checkpoint, the more edge one, where you guys first saw the day of, and you see him again.
It's your boy.
What I do? Good morning. Did you guys have a good night? Rest well in temple?
Yes.
Good enough.
I imagine you are still, he says to you, Dusk.
Yes, you could say that. And continuing
In fact,
to
it's
dust
probably gotten worse.
debris.
Well, you do task Alas give, you get your strength back, huh?
That's my hope.
Question of Dave, is the town always this quiet at night?
When you say this quiet, he tilts his head a bit confused at that, in the sense of like, you don't think he knows any different. Like, he doesn't know, like, large city stuff of, like, late night noise, stuff like that. Like, the hustle and bustle and rumble of, city life. So you say, this quiet, and then he tilts his head, but then he sort of figures it out. Yeah. What the town was silent tonight. Well, not silent, but quiet.
What's up?
Most people just stay silent. This is war. This is one of town tenants.
Well, do you know why the tenants came to be in the first place?
For protection, of course. Do not dig in the soil of the island so they don't sink. Do not be loud at night so you don't wake whatever sleeps below. Stuff like that.
Whatever sleeps below.
Lots of things, and lake goes down very, very deep, contrary to what you see. And he like points at like this like nearby edge area. Yeah, you guys could. Okay, it's a swamp town, so you can't see, but you get the impression like it's not like a huge drop. It's not like you take a step in, you plunge 7 feet deep.
Whoa.
There are some puddles like that. Be careful, especially in Hokkaido. But anyways, he continues. The town is. He draws like a shape with his hands. I will draw it on your guys' side of the.
Habba-dabba-dabba.
He's like that, and then like that. So it's relatively okay, and then it just suddenly it's like a sheer drop.
Hopefully you can swim or don't wear metal armor.
Yeah, I've gone fishing in lakes like this, and the water gets really cold because of how deep it is.
Yeah, same. Like there are a couple lakes that connect to the aquifer in Florida, and like by the entrance they are frigid.
I'm sort of happy to be in California, not in like any political sense, but in the sense of we don't have water, and there's a lot of shit in water that like is scary. So, I don't have to worry about that. Like it's just dirt out here. Like you can't like it's just that's it. Just sand and dirt.
Meanwhile, there's a lake
I know what
within
I'm
like
doing.
15
If you guys
minutes
visit
drive.
Sweden, I'm taking you guys fishing in the forest.
Yeah, okay, I'm okay with the forest bit. The fishing bit, maybe not so much. The forest bit, though, if I see like an elk made of human bodies, like in the forest movie, is it called the forest or the ritual? I think it was the ritual.
Ritual is
Yeah,
ritual.
if I see that, I'm okay with that. I'm like, hey, what's up, man? Good to see you again. Water, though, I'm like, that's not my neighborhood, all right? I don't walk in that neighborhood. I don't stride in that neighborhood, all right? I don't know the hand signs for that neighborhood, okay?
Fun fact, there's a lake.
I know, okay, sex time, and then blood, and crip, all right? I don't know the water shit, all right? I don't know that shit, all right? I don't walk in that neighborhood.
Fun fact, there's a lake a little bit north of where I am now, and there's like a big-ass dam, and there's a legend that goes, somebody was inspecting like a lower level of the dam underwater, turned around and saw a massive fucking like eel or some shit like that.
Yo, that's lit. That's why we don't go in the water.
Like its eye was the size of the person. I'm like, ha, that's a horror story. Cool.
It's an elder being.
Loki sticks his dick in more weird stuff.
Yeah, you guys want to learn the crypt sign? It's pretty simple. Make a C with your hand. You have now learned the crypt sign. Fucking basic ass shit. Blood, at least is
don't do it in LA or else you will be shot.
Fucking yeah, don't do that shit in general. Be a blood, not a crypt. Come on, yeah. Anyways. So, yeah, they have, like, give you guys, like, generally, like, topographically, I guess, how the town's depth, not the town, the lake's depth works. So it's like, yeah, it's pretty gradual. There are some upcroppings at different spots, like just spikes of, like, dirt and stuff, which is where they do, like, crab fishing and stuff like that. But for the most part, the town itself, and obviously they have, like pillars of, like, dirt and stuff that they build upon. That's islands. That's how islands work. But for the most part, the town is just a sheer drop into deep, deep lake. So yeah, that's how he describes the town to you guys. And when it gets back to the topic of, don't be loud at night, that's what he just remarks. Like, there's still stuff in that water that they don't know about and they don't want to test to know about. Thus, don't be too loud at night.
Sounds
He does remark that it does come from old stories of lake. I've not experienced anything myself. You can ask Alas Mafti. He probably knows stories better than me. My buddy sent me a message saying actually work. And there's an image that he sent. What is this image? Let's see.
We must know. The inquisitive public desires to know.
That's pretty cool. Dinosaur.
Oh.
Oh, yeah.
Oh yeah. So my buddy, he's ordered like a gaming chair that was supposed to arrive on the 27th of this month. He ordered this chair like a month and a half ago.
Yes.
Yeah. It got pushed back to June 10th. And
Oh,
then
yeah.
he's like, dude, I don't actually mind because like I was anticipating it taking so long, but I'm like a bit bummed at that. And I'm like, dude, you should like try swinging, like get like some fucking like store credit or something. He did.
Oh hell yeah!
Or not store credit. It's more like just like additional accessories and stuff like that. So like
Mhm.
leather cleaner to clean the chair and stuff like that. And I'm like, dude,
It's something.
it worked. Anyways, my buddy's chair woes aside, let's get back to it.
And Victor.
So yeah, Dave gives you the long and short that the town has rules. He just remarks a couple of them to you guys, like the more like relevant ones. Like, don't be loud at night, don't dig on the islands. You know, you can only swim at like near the town or at the circumference not the circumference. But yeah, I guess at the circumference. The perimeter of the lake, not any deeper because that's dangerous. Stuff like that.
Mhm.
So
There was something that we were supposed to ask him. Oh right,
What?
he heard
What you
noise,
saw?
I think, didn't he?
Yeah.
No, he heard
What
noise.
was heard?
he didn't hear it.
No. He one of the other guards had heard something in the night, and we were supposed to ask him, Dave about what that was.
So you ask him.
Heard from a friend who heard from a friend too.
No, he says it's the guy. His name is Svetko. You saw him last night. He took my position here. I mean, it was his turn to take it anyway, so whatever. But Svetko said that during the night last night he heard something metallic, armor or something, similar to, and he points out not Dusk right now because Dusk can't wear his plate armor. But
Magnus,
Genevieve, like people wearing
plate.
plate.
You
had the very particular to it. Is this Nevros thing? We know Nevros know how provincial armor sound. You know, the stories get shared. You know, caution stuff, whatever. This is all in Nevros, by the way. He's not speaking common.
I
But he's
translate it
basic-
for people that don't understand.
No, I figure I'm just making sure that you guys like
Understand.
colloquialisms are sort of able to get translated, but not fully. Yeah, he says that, you know, Nevros stories between tribes, like they still get shared somehow, some way. And that Nevros people have like a general idea of how provincial armor sounds. Because it's usually plate armor, and plate armor is loud as fuck. So yeah, most provincial forces aren't really trying to sneak when they're marching. They just march. That's when you get the specialist people, like Seekers and stuff like that, that don't wear plate armor and are really fucking tricksy. But yeah. He says it sounds like provincial armor, so like plate. He's not saying necessarily it's provincial people wearing it, but he just says like plate sounding. Svetko said something like your big metal loud armor. Something walking very slowly. Just minute pass. Another minute. Really slowly. Way out in the woods, west here. He said he almost didn't catch it. That's how slow it was, how quiet it was, but he sort of, I mean, guard duty is being paranoid, so you hear that. Maybe Svetko is really paranoid. He is a bit weird, but
no,
Never-
we have heard the same song elsewhere.
But I will let Svetko that he not as crazy as I think he is. But yeah, that is what Svetko heard last night. Something out way west of here.
Was he able to tell which way it was going?
No, I didn't ask him. Probably not, though.
Something to keep in mind. Thank you.
I will ask him, and when you guys come back, if you guys come back, I assume you will come back. I will let you know what he said. That being said, Svetko, his priorities are always they're a bit shifty compared to normal people. So He probably was focused on different matters when he heard it. Anything else you guys want to ask of Dave? Or you guys want to head out?
No time like the
I'll go
present.
I'll go happy to head out.
All right.
Yep,
And away
let's go.
you go. Hi, Tango.
Kitty.
He woke up when I said away you go. And I was going back to sleep. All right, that's good. So yeah, you guys head out. You guys have to you guys basically leave the town, border bridges, follow south, following the edge of the lake, and then as you know, per Allah's remark, technically he didn't say you have to follow the river, but he did say like the river is the source of this, or at least the conduit of it. So probably best to follow the river. You do such. Roger. You guys begin following the river. Now, then, my friends, we are going to take a 5-minute break because it has been like an hour and a half, maybe a bit longer. And in the meantime, I'm going to change the music and stuff.
Perfect.
Yeah, go take a 5-minute break.
Okay.
You know what? I actually think I want to explore the mountains. Like, let's just screw this whole river thing and just see what's in the mountains. You know,
I mean, there's mountains in the way of the river, so.
just let's just turn the opposite way, right? Let's not go
To this way.
run. Don't tell Yarl Balgrim, and let's just go. What's happening with the
I
assassins?
was talking to my buddy about this last night. About in Skyrim, how I would always I would never go into the hold of Whiterun because I didn't want to start spotting dragons. It's solely because of that. I was like, nah, I don't want to deal with dragons randomly. Fuck it. So I'm just never gonna talk to them.
That's what I'm saying. Like, let's just, you know what? Ditch this main plot line. Provincials can sort their stuff out. Let's go, like, I don't know. Let's go see what's going on in Soulfall right now. Let's just do that.
Yo, yeah, just
Christ.
walk through the margin claw. You know.
Yeah.
Now
that's
you
what I'm
sound
saying.
like my
All the
wife.
carbs.
She's like, why don't you hijack the campaign and do XYZ? I'm like, nah, I don't think I want to do that.
A bit too happy. I think we really do just need Witcher music for this. I think it really does just work.
Yeah, she's pretty bloodthirsty.
Oh, cool.
That's it. Will this work? Probably not. I know. No. No, it's a bit too calm. Yes. This works. This works.
Yes,
Go
yes, yes.
Skellig. Skellig.
Oh my god. This bag is so shit.
Man. Dusk really out there rolling a nat 1 when he already has a -5. Oof.
It was just hard. It was destined to be that this child shall become a great warrior.
That's how you build protagonist syndrome in a child.
Yep.
That's why you gotta squash children's hopes when they're young.
But did you want us to go and kick the kids' ass and put them in their place?
I mean, yeah, well, it's up to you. Welcome to the nuance of diplomacy. You can do anything, just expect them to not like it and make your time later harder. This is funny.
In 2003, Marvel convinced a U.S. court that mutants aren't humans to save on tax.
Pardon?
Because X-Men action figures were being imported as human-like dolls, but Marvel wanted to lower the tariff on toys, so they argued that mutants were non-human creatures. They won.
Huh.
To the chagrin of the fan base, they won.
Yeah, I feel like that defeats the purpose of the mutants, like, entire thing.
I don't care. Fucking dirty non-humans. Like, normal humans don't got fucking ability to shoot lasers out of their eyes and shit. They ain't human.
So, I see. You're the guy that, like, drops out of a helicopter to take down Magneto and then gets shot by your own bullets. Gotcha.
No, I'd be the guy sending in those people that would do that.
Makes much more
That's
sense.
stupid.
Then Magneto shows up, gives some really long speech, and, I don't know, stabs a coin through your head or something.
No, I'd be the guy making fucking Defender or Sentinel, where the giant robot is that's more featured in Marvel vs. Capcom.
Oh, yeah, no, it's, oh, fuck, what is it? I think it's Sentinel.
Oh, there you go. I'll be the guy making that. Like, there you go. Welcome to humanity's finest.
Easy clap, get fucked. Someday.
Check that out.
Ooh. 4K drone footage.
I'm searching low in the night.
Is this where you would take us in the woods to kill us and then put our bodies in the lake?
Maybe.
Well, at least it's pretty. I wouldn't mind haunting that lake for eternity. That'd be pretty cool.
Ooh.
I want like a post-apocalyptic fantasy game where there's like a ghost that haunts a lake, but since the apocalypse destroyed all the water in the area, it just haunts like this like husk
Random
of a lake.
chunk. Yeah.
Yeah, it's like ditch somewhere, and it's like, welcome to my lake. What lake? There's no water here.
Maybe in the
Days
puddle.
on it.
I feel the ghost would be sad at that point. It's just like, oh man, I died next to a lake. I had one view for eternity, and it got fucked.
They're like, okay, yeah, pretty scary lake, man. Black water really makes it scary. Can we go now?
5 inches of black water, mind you.
I don't know, minus the swampiness of the twins, the way you describe it sounds very familiar.
Guten Tag.
It's because the twins switches from like general forestland to actual swampland. So like you probably are more familiar with the forestry aspect of it, but the swamp aspect is something I sort of like have to drive home for the place as like its more signature feature.
Yeah.
I think honestly, in terms of maybe not in terms of temperature and stuff like that, but in terms of like climate or like weather stuff, I think the twins is probably more equivalent to like Alaska, where it's like it could be like it's pretty much foresty, but there are lakes in some or there's swamp. It's pretty swampy in summer and stuff like that because Swummer, leave me alone. There's like that's just how it is. There's a lot of water around. In the case of Alaska, that water is because it's on the next to the fucking ocean. But in the case of the twins, just because there's just so much water that trickles down from the margin, Claw and Talon Mountains and stuff like that. So, yeah. And then in the flip side, Northrend is more equivalent to like Nova Scotia, which is a hellhole.
Where is the gulag?
Nova Scotia's Canadian, mate, not Russian.
Oh, fuck. Does that answer my question? Where the fuck's the gulag at?
Siberia.
Hmm.
Yeah, now that I see this, it probably is a lot more equivalent to Alaska. I'm looking at that reflection pond, like the first like at the minute mark or whatever, and I'm like, yeah, like the edges of this place is swampy. The thing is, like, it's not just around the lakes; it has to sort of encompass everywhere. So I guess if you were to take the area around the lake, make the lake smaller, and repeat it like a millionfold, like repeating across the entire province, then yeah, it's pretty equivalent.
So like Finland.
I guess so. Then yeah. A lot of small lakes. They say there's more than 1,000 lakes in Nova Scotia because the definition of a lake in Nova Scotia is pretty vague.
Yeah.
Not
Like,
like, a lake.
In Scandinavia, Finland is known as the land of 1,000 lakes.
Oh, I hope someone did a count. They better prove it. Come on.
Funny enough, Finland has more larger lakes, I think it is, but Sweden has more total lakes, which is ironic.
Switch the names.
If
Yeah.
you go up north, it's kind of like forest, mires, and bogs, pretty much.
What's a mire, anyways?
Swamp.
Uh,
In English,
Yeah.
it's the same thing. I'm sure in like it's similar to big and large. In their origins, there are technically two different meanings behind it. You know, so if I were to say a large lake versus a deep lake or a big lake, those are three different meanings. But in the more modern sense, where they are synonyms of one another, I just mean like a lake that is sizable. Versus a large
mire,
lake, it's like wider on the surface. A deep lake is obviously it's deeper in terms of like depth, stuff like that. Big on for it.
a mire is it's like it's a wetland with very low oxygen in the ground, so dead plants and organic matter does not decompose, and it turns into I don't know what the English word for it is. Hold on, let me check. No, it becomes peat.
Oh,
Yeah.
right.
Out in one. Which is why you can find like corpses in peat swamps that look pretty fresh, even though they're from the Viking era. I remember that happened once. They found a corpse and then they reported it to the police, and the police are like, "Hey, this guy isn't exactly dead from last week." And then they talked to some nerd historians, and the nerd historians are like, "Yeah, he might have died like a few centuries ago.
Hell yeah.
More than a few. Maybe like 10.
Doesn't peat
A while.
really good?
Probably. Because it has like it doesn't decompose as much, so it probably still has a lot of oxygen value to it. I don't know how to describe it.
It has all the key ingredients.
It's a good fuel source. That's why it's in some places in Sweden, or in all of it, I can't remember. It's illegal to extract it, because we did it so much in the past. So it's become what do you call that?
Scarcity?
Endangered.
Yeah, kind of.
I like endangered better. Sounds funnier. An endangered plant species.
So
I guess
plant
not.
species. It's an endangered, dying plant-based ecosystem.
I know, what a shame. So obviously the best way to solve this is to throw a bunch of wasted plants and vegetables in the swamp and then just let that reform or kill people, which would do something similar. I'm just saying, it'd be pretty fun. Watching this Alaska video, I'm like, I can imagine some parts of the Twins are like this, but other parts no.
Yeah.
I can see Snowfall being like this, especially Northern Snowfall. Now we just wait for everyone to get back.
Who is still missing?
Rebecca.
Rebecca.
Oh, is here just busy.
Oh, okay. Oh yeah, I see.
I say designate someone right now to do encounter rolls and stuff like that. Don't roll out yet. I want you guys to actually decide first, though, who it is.
Let's have Kirsty do it. You rarely do it.
Okay.
Okay.
Well, I mean, fitting because Ranger. So.
Is that the same reason we have for chat? Didn't I say that before?
Huh?
I've said that exact line before in the past.
Yeah.
It's like 3 words. So maybe I don't keep tabs on conversations from campaign 1.
Small world. It wasn't even from campaign 1. No, that was the early part of our main campaign. It's irrelevant. It's an interesting.
Campaign 1 was the main campaign. I don't know what you're talking about.
I've returned.
Welcome back. So you guys spent a couple hours. We're all here, so yeah, I'm gonna keep going. You guys spent a couple of hours going from Altslet to its edge down